We got a question here. Do adapters cause loss of antenna effectiveness? Do adapters reduce the range of an antenna? A good quality adapter should not reduce the range of the antenna very much. We're talking about like a right angle adapter or an SMA to RPSMA. The numbers I've seen are in the range of a half dB or less, which is, I mean, obviously that's something, but it's probably, not worth worrying too much about. There are bad quality adapters out there, and it's difficult to know if you've got a good quality or a bad quality one. So it's possible that an adapter would cause a loss in range, but then you would just throw that adapter out and not use it. And don't do something silly like get like 7 adapters in a row and make a little snake. That's dumb. Don't do that. But just one adapter, like a right angle or an RPSMA to SMA or something, don't worry about that.
Just to be clear, also, you mean adapter, not extender.
That's correct, because those little pigtail cables, those are usually trash. Don't use them if you can possibly avoid it. And keep them as short as possible. Is that what you were getting at, Blunty?
100%. Yeah, and some testing we showed on the news a while back. Sandor de Bruner, DM4DS, did some testing, and he showed with, he checked like 5 out of 10 from some different brands, and the 5.8 gigahertz, the longer ones, lost in some cases 3/4 of the range because of dB loss. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. So when you go shopping for, let me show you an example. If we go shopping for an SMA pigtail, you absolutely shouldn't use like these if you can at all possibly avoid it. Like these are usually very bad. Especially, look how thin this coax is. Jeez. But like if you end up using something like this, the problem is how do you know if you've got a good one or a bad one? Well, you could test it using the Immersion RC RF power meter. I just want to throw that out there. This is one of the applications for the power meter. The power meter is not a $30,000 piece of lab grade equipment, but if you've got a bad pigtail that's having 10 dB of loss, the power meter 100% will call that out. That's significant enough that you could validate some of these cables. But I would say if you need to use one of these extensions, keep it as short as possible. And if possible, use something like the power meter to test it and validate that it's worth a damn. But I see people and they go out and they'll just buy SMA pigtail, 30 centimeters. They'll just go buy these super long pigtails and think it's just no thing. And it is definitely not no thing. It is a thing. Keep them as short as possible and be aware that a bad quality one can really tank your range.
One more question real quick. Somebody in our Discord the other day pointed out that DJI is selling a cable. Do you think that's reliable to buy? DJI is selling a MMCX to SMA cable. I almost thought maybe contacting Sandor to see if he could test them.
DJI generally makes good quality stuff, right?
Yeah, I almost wanted to just tell them, like, yeah, you're probably okay buying it because DJI is putting it out. But, maybe they're buying from some third-party vendor or something, so...
Yeah, so like here is in the DJI store an Air Unit MMCX to SMA cable. Like DJI seems to usually care about the performance of their products. So I doubt that they would tank the performance of their product by selling a shitty cable. So I would wager that this is good quality and will have good performance. I don't know that for sure. Like, obviously, no one has a perfect track record, but yeah.